Hi, everyone. First off, let me apologize. I'm a little bit under the weather. I have a head cold, but I wasn't going to leave you guys hanging. I still wanted to give you some good content today and have you have some kind of strategy that you can start using. That's really been my emphasis of these videos is trying to make a video that can teach you something that can then lead to some kind of actionable step, something you can do right away after the video. So I've been online and viewing what other, weight loss gurus have been saying. And I got to tell you, it's really frustrating to still hear some of this nonsense. And so I heard someone say the other day that, you know, I understand your pain. You're eating 1,600 calories a day and you still can't lose the weight, yada, yada, yada. And I was just like, man, I can't believe people are still, you know, spreading this garbage on the internet. Um, if your like baseline caloric needs are 2,500 calories a day or 3,000 calories a day, and you're eating 1,600 calories a day, it is scientifically impossible not to be losing weight. Like you absolutely will be in a deficit. Now, there is a very small minority of people that have serious medical conditions that really wreak havoc on their metabolism. And so they may find it extremely difficult to lose any kind of weight, even with, you know, severely restricting calories. But that is not the large majority of us, trust me. Um, the large majority of people that are overweight, if they're eating 1,600 calories a day, unless they're like 4'5" and 150 pounds, I just can't for the life of me understand how they could not be losing weight. What I do understand is a lot of times people are very poor reporters of caloric intake. And by that, I mean people are not accurate in terms of what they're actually consuming. Now, I've been in the addiction field for a long time, and I've segued into this field because I think that's what's behind the large majority of our struggles, is that we have some kind of food dependency, or dare I say food addiction, okay? So there's been this, what I consider to be this stereotypical view of people with any kind of dependency or addiction, which is people with dependencies and addictions, they lie, they're deceitful, and they just don't want to be forthcoming about their addiction problem, okay, or issue. And while that may be true in some circumstances, many times what's more true is that they simply lack awareness. And all my patients, regardless of what kind of struggle they've had, whether it be compulsive gambling, sex addiction, substance use issues, food addiction, whatever it is, they've always said the most important thing that I've taught them is how to be more aware. And that's what I want to teach you today. Because if you're thinking that I'm not eating that much, I should be losing weight, and it's just not in the cards for me. I've tried and tried and tried, and this is just not something I can do, then I really invite you to do this self-monitoring exercise. Self-monitoring is a skill that we teach people. We usually give it as a between session homework assignment. So in other words, if I'm seeing someone for a session, I'll give them this homework assignment, and then we'll review it the following session a week later. And basically what I ask them to do is whatever behavior they're doing, right? If it's some kind of substance use behavior, some kind of excessive online use that they're trying to reduce, or in this case, overeating, what I tell them to do is basically make a food journal for the week. And it's very simple nowadays with the advent of the smartphone, because every smartphone has these neat little notebook apps where you could literally just put in lists and you record all sorts of things, and they're really, really convenient. I literally use it for my food list, my to-do list. I use it to keep track of finances. I mean, the color pad or the notepads apps are really, really easy to use. And all you're going to do is just start a log day one, and you're going to do it for 1 week, and you're going to record every single thing you eat. The beauty of this exercise is, as you're becoming more aware of what you're eating, you're actually going to most likely automatically eat less. And probably because on some level, be it unconscious, pre-conscious, or even conscious, you're becoming more accountable, right? So it's not like we can just stuff our face and pretend we didn't eat that much, right? And again, you know, people a lot of times are not lying. They're not being deceitful. Like when patients tell me, Dr. Fields, I swear I'm only eating this many calories every day, I don't think they are trying to deceive me. I think they're just simply not aware. Or maybe, you know, they might be in denial in terms of that Freudian term, which is it's on an unconscious level, they're aware of it, but they're not able to access their unconscious. They're not able to really fully grasp what's going on a day-to-day basis, but not intentionally trying to deny what they're doing. And so this is going to really help you make everything you do more conscious and not act unconsciously, not act like an automaton, not act without thinking. We want every single action that you do to be deliberate and thoughtful. And that's the name of the game of beating any kind of dependency, increasing that awareness so that you're never reflexively just doing something and not even being aware of it. I bet you there are many times you're just stuffing food in your face and you're not even fully aware that you're doing it. And there are environmental manipulations and controls that you can do to reduce that behavior. And I'll talk about that another time. But for now, I just want you to be super aware of what you're consuming. Try to be accurate in terms of the amount of the portion size of what you think. But what's more important is that you're just simply recording what it is you're eating. And you're going to do that every single time you eat. And the next day in the morning, before you have a meal, I want you to review the previous day and really try to look at whether or not that's accurate. Did you forget to write anything down? Maybe it was late at night and you had a snack and you forgot to do this exercise. Make sure the previous day was as accurate as possible. And you're gonna do that every day for a week. And at the end of the week, then I want you to look at what you actually consumed and see if that matches your perception in terms of what you think you've been eating, right? Like, is there a mismatch? Is this different from what you thought? And how different? And remember that chances are, just because you're self-monitoring, you're going to most likely be eating a little bit less. But it still should be more than what you probably thought. And if you're saying like, nope, this is about 1,600 calories or whatever the number is, I should definitely be losing weight. Nope, I was accurate. There was no issues there. Then I'm going to tell you that what the issue is you're not accurate in terms of measuring the caloric content of what you're eating. And that's probably really, really off. Like maybe you think, one slice of cheese is 10 calories, when in reality, it's 100. Do you see what I'm saying? So do this self-monitoring exercise. Everything starts with awareness. You cannot gain control over any behavior until you're aware of it and you're aware of what you're doing. Forget digging deep in terms of the functions and the reasons for why you do it. Right now, we just want to focus on being aware of when you're doing it. This is Dr. Fields. I'll talk to you soon. Hopefully, I'll be feeling better by then.